My favorite fight right now is my fight against Brian Barberina. Performance wise, that was my favorite fight, and most satisfying win would be against Mickey Gall. He just talked too much, man. He just talk so much, and I don't care about talking shit, but it's coming from a person where me and him was cool. You know, we were cool at a point. We trained together at Henzo Gracie Academy, and the man was just talking crazy. You know, and he submitted me in a in the gym. You know, when we were training, and obviously I submitted him too. We are going back and forth training, and he went on once the fight was scheduled that we and announced that me and him were going to fight each other. He went on all these interviews saying that how he bodied me up in practice and did whatever he wanted, and he's going to choke me out, and the fans believed it. So yeah, I just went in there and I grappled him. You know, I grappled him on purpose. You know, when it was clear that I could have beat him up on the feet, I grappled him on purpose. You know, obviously that was my ego at the time. You know, but yeah. So that's why that was most satisfying. I was talking to him in between rounds while I was on top of him. I was talking to him, and I loved it. Loved every second of it. He was all bloody and beautiful. I was like, all that shit you talking. Look at you now. Look at you now, right? Look at you. Look. I just kept saying, look at you, right? Bloodied up, right? But a second round, he ended up reversing me. Then he was on top. You know, I was waiting to hear it back. He didn't say anything. You know, so I was like, all right. You know, he's probably just on fight or flight. He's in survival mode, trying to survive. So he didn't say shit. Basically, the pandemic happened. Pandemic happened. We were scheduled to fight. I believe was it the 11th of April. Um, my obviously our fight got canceled. What 3 weeks ahead or 2.5 weeks ahead, and they offered to put us on the 18th card, April 18th. But it didn't come to me right away. You know what I mean? It was actually a week or 2 weeks after where my fight was prior to my fight being canceled. Or after my fight was canceled, that you know they wanted me to fight him, and I already was out of camp again. And I was like, with the whole thing happening with the pandemic and people not really, my training partners are not showing up, and it was just hard to get a camp together. New York got hit really hard, and I don't think it would have been fair for me at this time in my career to be, this is my first opportunity breaking into top 15, and I need to give myself the best chances possible. I want to show up and put on a good show and show you guys, what I'm capable of. And I don't think that with this pandemic and everything going on, I don't think I would have been able to do that, so I gracefully bowed out. I would love to be able to, honestly, I wanted to fight the winner. I think it's a win-win situation for me. The winner, I still get, a ranked opponent, and if the other guy wins, I get to avenge a loss, against someone that I'm pretty sure that I could beat 1,000%. Even though I lost it the first time about around, I don't think it'll go like that the second time. I can guarantee you that. Um, yeah, so I think it's a win-win situation for me if I get to go back and fight any one of them. The winner of that fight, I think would be good for me. I would like Nico to win because I want to get that back. I would love to Nico to win so I could get that back, but I don't see it. I think Luke TKOs him or probably even KOs him. I love it, man. I love it. Um, I during the fighters meeting, people were asking a lot of questions, and one of the questions that I asked actually was, would we be able to do our full camps there? So um, if I can do a full camp, then I can get out of New York and be able to bring my team with me, and we can really put it together. Hell yeah, man. I'm out. I'm out, and I'm down to scrap. Because I'm not one of those guys where anywhere, anytime, anybody. As guys are not honest. They're not going to tell you that. As fighters, the egos, they ain't going to tell you that. It's anybody, anywhere, anytime. For me, I'm anybody, anywhere, not anytime. Right? I need my proper 8 weeks to prepare. It's not like I'm a slob out of shape at all times, but at the same time, I need to know. I can beat anybody in the world but I have to be prepared. Properly. So Fight Island, I'm down for Fight Island. I'm down 1,000% for Fight Island. I just need the proper time, to prepare, and we in there. That was cool, man. It was tough. It was tough, but that's something that I wouldn't trade for the world. I wouldn't trade that. I had one of the best childhoods. I look at kids today and you see like, it's mostly, obviously it's different times and all that, but I I love my childhood. I feel like as a '90s baby, I'm one of the last of the Mohegans, and I would never trade it for anything. I had a great upbringing, and I love it. I actually got to experience nature. I actually got to be outside and like play and get dirty and and just be. I love it, man. I was out there, and I was out there. And I just love it. It was real a roughneck upbringing is what I say, what I call it. From about four to what 16. I remember walking with water with buckets of water, because we had to go down to the standpipe to fill up our drums of water and all that, because we didn't really have running water. So we had to go fill our water up at this one pipe, and the whole community waiting at this one pipe. And it was great experience. Every time I go down there, I train with all the guys that are up and coming and doing their thing, and everybody looks up to me, and hey, I appreciate it, and I know that one of the first, not the only, but one of the first, Jamaican athletes, in to make it to the UFC. So, or athletes that represent Jamaica, but to make it to the UFC. So, yeah, man, everybody looks up to me and look to me to kind of lead the way, right? And I'm rocking my MMA Jamaica Federation shirt, so always showing love to them guys and, you know, big up to them. In Jamaica, what happens, our main sport is track and field. As a kid, you run track. I even ran track, at some point, you run track. It's like football here, At some point, you're going to run track. At some point here in America, you're going to play basketball or you're going to, be doing football or something like that. So same thing, in Jamaica, we do soccer and we do track and field. So, and the athletes that come from Jamaica produces are unbelievable, So I think that now that we're getting involved in mixed martial arts, I think we're gonna see some big things coming from that little island very soon. I was boxing a little in Jamaica, and then when I left, I came here and I started training at Gleason's a little bit. And the thing is, I was just looking for somewhere to train, man. I was really looking for somewhere to train, and then I'm at TCI. I'm going to college now, and I just constantly hear every time I look up. I saw BJ Penn versus Joe Stevenson. I seen them guys, scrapping, and I was like, man, that looks crazy. I think I could do that, And then it just passed my mind. I'm still doing my thing, looking for a boxing gym, and then Henzo Gracie. I'm looking it up, and Henzo Gracie happened to be right down the street. So, in between my classes, I had some big gaps, and I was like, what? Let me go over to this place and see what it's about. I go in there, I see the jiu-jitsu guys grappling and all that. I'm like, this look like some karate stuff, the guys in the gi and all that. And I did a little trial, a quick 30-minute trial with my boy Gino over at Henzo Gracie, and then man, these people are tying me up in the knot, and doing whatever the hell they wanted to do with me. And in my mind, I'm thinking I'm athletic and I can, I was skinny, but I think I was athletic. I was fairly strong, I'm like, I'll be able to handle myself. Not at all, not at all, and the rest is history. I've been training there. Um, my boy Pete Lawson, he was actually Jamaican, and what he did is he asked me if I wanted to train. He knew I wanted to train. I used to come in between all my classes. I was there every day. And one day I got, when you get from your student loan, you get like a big lump sum at the end of the year or whatever, right? And you're supposed to use that to go back towards your loan to pay off your loan, right? I didn't do that like an idiot, right? I took that money and went to Enzo Gracie Academy. I said, how much can this get me and how long can I train with this? And they got me a couple months and I stayed there and I just trained. When my money ran out, Pete came to me and he said, um, I know you like to train. I know you're here consistent and you're putting in a lot of work. So he said, how would you like to clean the mats? Come in the morning, clean the mats, and you'll be able to train. And I was like, absolutely. I took that opportunity and I used to clean the mats over at Henzo Gracie, and then I was just training. They let me train, and that's where I met my head instructor today. And then I started training with him. My social media is Touch and Go, Touch letter NGO 170. No, Touch and Go underscore. Sorry, Touch and Go underscore. So yeah, you can follow me on social media. Occasionally, I'm on Xbox. I was on Xbox right now, so you could follow my Twitch, Touch and Go 170. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Shout out to Battle Scar Management, Budokan Martial Arts. Yeah.